Paul Williams. Okay, guys, I give you the instructions in your respective corners and dressing rooms, okay? I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Fight hard, fight clean, touch them up. Good luck.
Good luck.
What's Erislandy Lara got? What's Paul Williams got left? Lara has never competed at this level in the professional ranks. Paul Williams has never had to come back from a knockout loss.
And we're underway, round one. And Williams comes out and within seconds throws his first punch. He is a man who throws punches in tremendous volume.
One thing about Paul, he don't care who you bring to the dance, he just stays ready to dance, and you gotta love that about him. He don't pick opponents, he don't care who you pick, whoever shows up is who he's ready to deal with.
Lara said he wants to check Williams' chin early to see how Williams has been affected by the knockout, if he's been affected by it. And we see here Lara staking out the middle of the ring in spite of Paul Williams' early pressure. Good left hand to the body from Lara.
And he touches the chin of Williams. And then he hooks with the right hand to the chin of Williams. Then they get tangled up and Williams gets tackled down.
Because of Williams' pressure and size, a lot of fighters get on their bicycle when Williams starts to come at them. Sergio Martinez stood his ground and threw some haymakers and knocked Williams out. And Lara thinks that may be the blueprint for beating Paul Williams.
Well, he definitely not going to outpunch him, that's for sure.
Lara, a two-time defector from Cuba, defected once, was arrested and sent back, was one of their top amateur fighters, but had a sense he wasn't going to be put on the 2008 Olympic team because of the previous attempt at defection. So 7 months before the 08 Olympics, he defected again via a motorboat from Cuba to Cancun, Mexico.
He's landed two beautiful left hands that Paul Williams has taken very well, but I don't like the fact that Paul is still getting hit with that big left hand.
Well, that's Sergio Martinez blueprint. There he goes, loading up on the left hand.
Okay, no más, all right? Let's go.
Beijing, as you pointed out, we were discussing it earlier, Bob, also not a place where Lara could have defected.
No. He wasn't going to have many sympathetic ears if he tried to defect there.
Right! I see.
320 amateur wins, 2005 world champion at 152 pounds, amateur world champion. One of the captains of the A team, the Cuban team. Caution for hitting behind the head, but as he said, you know, 51 weeks in camp, win a couple medals, still doesn't put any money on the table for you.
Really good first round by Lara.
Let me tell you what's going on. You letting him get off first. That's what's going on, okay? And by you letting him get off first, he's able to make contact. You can't allow him to get off first. You act like you want to throw your jab, you act like you halfway don't want to throw it. You got to throw it, brother. You understand what I'm saying?
Show him your right, and then cross him over, just like you crossed him before. He's got no more. He's got no more. You can see he's got no more. He doesn't want anything else. His legs are shaking.
Here you see Lara come in with that signature left hand behind his jab, right over the top, hit Paul Williams right on the button with a beautiful left hand, the same type of a shot that Martinez caught him with, but he wasn't in the act of throwing a punch himself then.
So a good round one for Lara.
Yeah, it was a good round one for Lara. The good thing about Paul, though, is he's about 10 pounds heavier than Lara, so he may take Lara's punch a little better than he took Martinez's punch also.
And Martinez has developed into quite a puncher. On the graphic earlier, we showed you the top junior middleweights. Sergey Zinzurek is one of them. Martinez also knocks Zinzurek out. Do you think we've seen the effects of the Martinez knockout, not just in terms of the blueprint, Roy, but in terms of the fact we heard George Peterson in Williams' corner say you're not punching first? Are those lingering effects of the Martinez knockout? He doesn't want to get countered?
Good left hand by Williams.
Now he's starting to punch first.
Yeah, he's punching first. You see a little bit of it on both sides. However, Paul don't care. Paul is not here to try to fix that mistake. And as you see, Lara knows he's not trying to fix it because Lara is throwing the same overhand left that Martinez hit him with. So Paul is not trying to fix the mistake. He's just going to work through it. He don't care.
Lara's got a real good boxing reach, meaning, you know, his jabbing reach for a short guy compared to Williams, it looks like to me.
300 and something fights, you know, you got to know that he's seen everything. So he's seen tall guys, short guys, quick guys, slow guys. He's seen them all. And like Paul's coach said, if Paul gets off first, then Paul wins the fight. If Paul doesn't get off first, then Lara is winning the fight.
After that draw to Carlos Molina, Lara said, you know, I had to look in the mirror. Yoel Casamayor showed what good hard work can do from a Cuban perspective. And Williams gets rocked back and hurt.
Lara's really
Combination
planting.
from Lara.
Really planting his feet with these punches.
Hey, step back. Stay back.
And as you see, Paul coming even harder now than he was before he got caught with the shot.
First, Williams got to win this fight.
Holding.
He's losing it so far.
Watch out.
And then he's got to make people believe along the way that he can reverse the outcome of the second Martinez fight. So far, he's done neither.
Well, he hasn't changed anything. Just like him in his corner said, they haven't changed anything. And if you don't change anything, then the same thing is going to work on you again.
Punch out.
Coming into this fight, though, Lara, known as a guy who throws 1 and 2 punches at a time. Williams 8 and 10. You figure that gives Paul a big advantage, but that hasn't happened so far.
Well, if it does give him a big advantage, it'll happen late in the fight anyway, because you expect that Lara won't be so busy, and the more the fight goes, if Paul can get through these early rounds, the more busier he will become.
Williams was short with that left. He's lucky that Lara missed the counter. End of round 2.
Deep breath. Give me a mouthpiece. Paul, let me tell you what you're not doing. You're not putting no snaps, and you're not sending no feints. You got to do it. You got to.
Hold off on the holding, okay?
You got to do that. You got to put snaps in those punches. You follow me? You got to send feints. Now, he's trying to land one shot on you because, you know why? Because you're not moving your head. You got to move.
Come on, let's finish. Let's get up. Get up before he does.
Right here, you see Lara land a beautiful hook, straight left, then followed by a big jab, but the jab really caught Paul off balance and not really set to fight at that time. Had it been a right hook, it probably would have did much more damage.
So Williams embarks upon round number 3. Lara has done a very effective job through the first 2 rounds. Left hand from Lara. Williams misses with his combination. Lara covers up.
See, Paul is about to get even more busier now, and Lara's punches are not really having a lot of effect on Williams anymore with the big shots. He just hit him with 2 good straight overhand lefts, and they didn't have an effect on him.
Keep hitting them like that, they'll have an effect, though.
Later on, they would.
Punch out. Come on. Step back. Step back. Suéltalo.
And there's such a big size difference here. The 10 pounds are so apparent in their body styles.
Doesn't even look like the same weight class.
Exactly. Paul being 6'2" and 10 pounds heavier, it just looks like this guy's in a whole separate weight division.
Another straight left hand, though, by Lara that catches Williams.
See how a little defense, a little head movement from Paul goes such a long way. He's a guy who fights in close in spite of his enormous size and reach. Most guys who fight that way have no choice, Roy, It seems as though Williams has the chance to be a better defensive fighter fighting from long range, and yet he chooses not to.
Yeah, he fights like he's 5'9", and that's not good. That's what allows these shorter guys to make contact with him. But if that's what you've been doing, like he said, it worked for him for 39 fights, and it only didn't work in 2 fights, why change it? So,
right, his attitude, and George Peterson, his trainer's attitude seems to be, do what we were doing, only harder if possible.
Hold it. Stop holding. Mira, stop your holding, okay, por favor, all right?
Roundhouse left from Lara.
If you're knocked out in your last fight by that punch, and that seems to be Lara's entire game plan, to land that punch, how are you still getting caught if you're Paul Williams with that punch?
well, like you said, he said in the meeting with you that they wasn't going to change anything. Not really a smart call, I don't think, but he's not changing nothing. He's throwing just as many punches as he used to throw. He's the same Paul Williams, and he's not going to change for nobody. So what he's depending on here is most of the Cubans, they have a hard time adjusting because they fought 3 rounds for so long. This kid has 300 fights at 3 rounds. Going 12 rounds or 10 rounds is a whole lot different, and that's what Paul is depending on. He wasn't depending on not being caught with the left hand.
In preparation for this fight, for the first time in his career, Lara did use a strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, but you see he's starting to show fatigue already.
Well, he's starting to let Williams sort of chase him around the ring instead of standing his ground. And maybe that's already some fatigue at this pace.
Yes, it is.
August 27th marks the return of the Emmy Award-winning 24/7. This time around, our cameras will take you inside the lives of superstar Floyd Mayweather and vicious Victor Ortiz as they prepare for their upcoming welterweight showdown. And September 17th, HBO pay-per-view will bring you the live matchup between Mayweather and Ortiz, the most anticipated fight on the 2011 boxing calendar.
You understand what I'm saying?
Let's start throwing 3. Did you hear? Come on, click it up. This is the 4th. You're doing good.
But get that jab going. Okay?
And as we begin round number 4, let's check in with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Okay, Bob, I got a 3-0, 30-27, Erislandy Lara. You know, Bob, I got to tell you, he's got so much snap in that left hand that Paul Williams can't see that left hand coming over the top for nothing. I mean, Lara's just punishing the Punisher with that left hand over the top. I guess Sammy Brio is going to warn Paul Williams for low blows, but be as it may, to get back to what I was saying, Erislandy Lara seems to be doing so much more damage with that left hand. He blinds Williams with the right jab, and then he whacks him with that straight left hand over the top. So,
sorry about that. Okay. Time in.
3-0, Lara.
We're in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Bob Papa, Roy Jones, Max Kellerman, HBO's Boxing After Dark, Paul Williams, and Erislandy Lara in round 4 of a scheduled 12-rounder. Lara, the Cuban, has done a very good job through the first 3 rounds, and one of the things that he's done, Roy, is he's done a better job with his jab as the smaller man than Williams. Williams only 11 of 80 according to CompuBox, 14%. Lara 14 of 55, 25%.
Yeah, but Paul fights like a short guy. He doesn't fight like a tall guy. So you don't expect that he would do so well with his jab. His jab is just something to get him going, not to land. He doesn't use it as a jab is used to keep range. Although he's 6'2", he don't care that he's 6'2". He fights like a midget.
With a 78-inch reach. You know, it is true. I agree with what you guys are saying. Paul Williams, over the last 2 rounds, has had much better frames than the first 2.
And the longer the fight goes, the better the get for Paul Williams. Because of the fact that, like I said, to me, the Cuban guys have to get used to going all these rounds. They've been having long careers of 3 rounds.
And pressure fighters, and Williams, though he's not built like one, is certainly a pressure fighter, tend to start slowly and start to really cook as the fight wears on.
And that's what's about to happen right now. He's really finna start cooking here.
But we're also not seeing the same kind of pressure from Williams that we've seen in the past. You know, with his punch output in the rounds, although they've gone up in every round in totality.